I'm on tree line, but they try to change your mind. Forget the noisy, they part of the deal. So make a choice. Cause if you want it, I'ma give it to you, baby. And if you want it, let me give it to you daily. From night up till the morning, I'ma love you, darling. From night to buzz calling. We don't need nobody. We don't need nobody, no validation. No, we don't need nobody, no validation. Yeah, so long as you want me, I know we don't need nobody, no validation, no validation. Yeah, no validation. Yeah, no validation. When you're there, so why you going so? How you gonna let them take you for ransom? You're conflicted, cause you're addicted. And I'm your medicine, so come make me fix it. Try them a try, but we not gonna let them inside. So them a try, but we won't let them kill our vibe. Yeah, we don't need nobody, no validation. No, we don't need nobody, no validation. Yeah, so long as you want me, I know we don't need nobody, no validation, no validation. Yeah, no validation. Yeah, no validation. Yeah, no validation. No validation. You want it, I'ma give it to you, baby. And if you want it, let me give it to you daily. From night until the morning, I'ma love you, darling. Till the birds are calling. We don't need nobody.
Poetry and Pulse, a new concept, a new series with you in mind, bringing the best of both worlds together on one platform, showcasing your talent, combined with the spiritual knowledge of the divine in the council. Something to just feed your soul. Take a listen. Let me introduce the ladies of Poetry and Pulse. Goddess Dee of Love, Poetess, Empath. Empress I Rose, Sharon, Poetess, Empath, Divinator. Queen Cass, Holistic Healer.
confidence. I got confidence. Waited way too long for this. Building on my confidence. Working on me, yeah. Becoming everything I need.
C-Val, Madam O, Impact, Intuitive.
Got a strong foundation, I'm just upgrading the format. Dead weight get cut off, bad vibes get brushed off. Baby, I'm the club.
Princess Peach, Alicia Dion, Empath, Devonator, Intuitive.
Understanding my assignment, always in alignment. Trusting in the process, being patient with the timing. Cause I got confidence, and I work hard for this. Waited way too long for this. Now I got confidence, and I work hard for this. I'm working on my confidence. I got
Blended Healing, Intuitive, and Devonator.
working on my confidence. Working on me, yeah. Becoming everything I need.
Blues, Boom Boom Room, Sad and Blue, Special Moderator. Always that girl, number one, Special Moderator.
From the crown of my head made me see that I could use my voice, so I should have love taken care of.
A collaboration of love, poetry, and prose. Please come and be our guest and participate. Every Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, so let's talk about what validation is and is not. What it is not is I'm just agreeing with what you're saying. I may not agree with you, but I can still validate you. A lot of people don't understand that concept, and I want to try to break it down for you here today. So if someone is telling me something that I don't necessarily agree with, the power of validation can be used here, where I am listening to the speaker's experience of how they saw the situation. So it involves empathy. It involves me putting myself in their shoes to try to see the situation through their eyes. And again, I don't have to agree with them. I am listening to how they experienced it. And what I'm validating is their experience, their emotions about what happened. Can we come to an agreement later, or can we sort out the facts? Yes. However, in the beginning steps in trying to hear out or validate someone's position, you have to just track and empathize and validate that person's position as a legitimate position to have. Okay.
Grand rising, grand afternoon, or grand evening, depending on what time of day you are watching Daily Dose of Dee. I am your host, aka Goddess Dia Love. Yes, everybody, we have made it till Friday. It is Friday, y'all. I hope that you guys had a wonderful week and everything worked out the way you wanted to do. And now that we're on Friday, over here at Daily Dose of D, we're going to call it Finish It Up Friday. We're going to finish up what we need to finish up, get ready for the weekend, and hope everything goes well for the weekend for you. So let's go ahead and finish Friday up. So we're going to start this Daily Dose of D today with the word of the day, like we always do. So once again, happy Finish Up Friday. The word of D Day, if you didn't notice, is validation, the action of checking or proving the validity or accuracy of something. And here also at Happy Finish It Up Friday, the quote of the day, the most important validation is self-validation by the one and only Goddess Love. So let me talk about what brought this word up. As I am watching social media, things on TV, just people in general, I noticed that people are looking for people to give them validation of how they are, or how they speak, or how their actions are. In today's society, so many people are looking for validation. So this is what brought on the word of the day, of the day today, because I wanted to explore what validation means and also give my thoughts on it as well. So our title for today at Daily Dose of Dee is The Power and the Pitfalls of Validation. So let's go get right into it so we can go ahead and finish up this Friday. You feel me? So, validation is the recognition or affirmation that a person's feelings, thoughts, or actions are valid and worth. Wow. It plays a critical role in human interaction, shaping self esteem, relationships, and emotional well being. While external validation can provide a sense of acceptance and belonging, and over resilience can lead to insecurity and self doubt. So understanding the balance between seeking validation and cultivating self acceptance is the key to personal growth and fulfillment. So it breaks it down. Validation is a recognition or affirming of a person's feelings, thoughts, actions that they are valid. As that clip, as the lady said at the beginning, validation does not mean you agree. It means that you're empathetic or you understand the person's experience. You affirming their feelings, thoughts, or actions, right? So this plays a big role in society today because this is going to help with your self-esteem. It's going to help develop relationships and your emotional well-being. So while the external validation can provide acceptance and what it says over resilience, it can also lead to two things: insecurity and self-doubt. So there has to be a balance with this validation, the duality, like I always speak of over here. Okay? So let's go on to the importance, okay? The importance of validation. Validation is a fundamental psychological need. When individuals receive acknowledgement and support from others, they feel valued, understood, and respected. This can strengthen relationships, build confidence, and promote emotional stability. For instance, in a personal relationship, partners who validate each other's feelings foster trust and intimacy. In professional settings, employees who feel recognized for their contributions are more motivated and productive. Beyond external validation, self validation is equally important. This involves recognizing and accepting one's own emotions and experiences without solely relying on others' approval. Self validation builds resilience, self worth, and dependence, allowing individuals to navigate challenges with confidence. Okay, so what is the importance of validation? Let's go ahead and break what I just read down. So, individuals that receive acknowledgement or support from others feel valued, understood, and respected. So when someone recognizes your hard work or understands your experience, it's going to make you feel valued. I like how it gave the example in a relationship. When you value the other person's feelings, that's going to bring trust and intimacy into your relationship. Also on the job, when your employees, have you ever felt undervalued at a job? I know I have. or you feel you're not appreciated. So therefore you decide, well, not everybody, but it makes you do the bare minimum because you don't feel valued. But when you feel valued and you are recognized and your boss recognizes the work that you do, you're more productive and more motivated. So, like it says, beyond external validation, to me, this is what I have to say. Self validation is very important. And that's what I'm going to focus on more later on in this live. So, this involves accepting your emotions, and experiences without relying on others. You don't need anybody else to validate your own emotions. They're yours. Your experiences, those are yours. As as Queen Kells always says, nobody can tell your story but yourself. So you have to self validate. Okay. So self validation is going to build resilience, self worth, and independence, allowing you to go through life's challenges. And like I said, I'm going to focus on self validation more than just validation from others a little bit later in this life, okay? Because I feel that that's the most important. All right. So let's go on and talk about the dangers of seeking validation. What are the dangers when you seek validation from others? While validation can be beneficial, excessive dependence on external approval can lead to emotional instability. When individuals rely too much on others' opinions, they may develop anxiety, low self esteem, or fear of rejection. Excuse me, y'all. Listen to this point. Social media has amplified this issue as many people seek validation through likes, comments, and shares. The pressure to gain approval online can lead to comparison, self doubt, and distorted self image. Additionally, the need for validation can sometimes lead to people pleasing behavior. Let me read this again. The need for validation can sometimes lead to people pleasing behavior. Individuals may suppress their own needs, opinions, or identity to gain acceptance, which can result in resentment, unhappiness, and the lack of authenticity. So, what are some of the dangers in seeking validation from others? Well, first of all, it's you're expecting people to lead your emotions, right? You're want their validation of how things can be. Individuals who rely on other people's opinions, if you're relying fully on others' opinions, now remember there's balance and duality. So I'm not saying that some validation is good, okay? But fully is the word that I'm saying. You're going to develop low self esteem, anxiety, and then you're going to have a fear of being rejected because you're so used to people validating you that you're like, oh my God, what if they don't like me? What if I don't get the validation that I need from them? So then it builds up a fear of rejection. The point that I love in this part, social media has made it so easy to amplify validation, right? Yes, we all like we all likes, comments, and shares. I even say that too on my show, right? But I don't seek validation for who I am at Daily Dose of Dee at the Love Palace. I want you to like and comment and share so that others can get that information. But the pressure on social media to gain approval has led to comparison, self doubt, and distorted images. You might not even get the information that the person on the panel or the host is presenting if you don't push that like button, right? You might not get the message that needs to be said if you don't send them a cash app. This is where social media has amplified validation because people will do that. We know that, right? So the need for validation can lead to being people pleasing behavior. So now you're not acting like your normal self. You're seeking validation through people. So you're trying to please them. You're behaving, excuse me, in the way that they want you to behave, right? So you're instead of being your authentic self and who you are, you start going along with the crowd, and start having people pleasing behavior. This can lead to being resentment, to having resentment, unhappiness, and the lack of authenticity. Okay, so those are some of the dangers of seeking validation from others. So let's go on and talk about the duality. Striking a balance, the duality in, excuse me, validation. So, to maintain healthy relationships with validation, individuals must learn to balance external affirmations with internal self-worth. So, you want to learn to balance external affirmations with internal self-worth. So, I'm going to offer to you 5 steps to include having a balance. All right. So, the first step of striking a balance is practice self validation. Like I said, I'm going to break self validation down a little more later on in a few minutes because I feel that's the most important. So, you're going to acknowledge your own feelings and experiences without needing others' approval. Trust your judgment and accept your emotions as valid. Let's go on to number 2. You're going to setting personal standards. Setting personal standards. Define success and self worth based on your values rather than societal exception. Define your success and your self worth based on what you believe rather than what society. Limiting social media influence. Reduce resilience on online validation by focusing on real life interactions and intrinsic motivation. Limit the amount of time that you social media may influence you, where you are seeking validation on social media. What I do here, and I'm speaking for myself, I do daily dose of D. Anything that the love talents, the ships, poetry, and pulls is because I want to. I don't need validation from others to do that. This is something I want to do. So if you are seeking validation on social media, limit that time and get involved. And like I said, focus on your real life interactions, things that are going in your now, right now, so that you can have motivation. Number 4, developing self confidence, the balance of validation. Engage in activities that foster personal growth, confidence, such as pursuing hobbies, learning new skills, and setting personal goals. So you develop confidence, right? Self confidence. So you're going to get engaged in things that's going to help your personal growth, things that's going to build up your confidence to make you feel good, any type of hobbies that you like to do. And it even might require you learning a new skill and setting more personal goals. Okay. And the fifth thing to keep balance is seeking healthy validation. Okay. With external validation, it is not inherently negative. Seek it from trusted individuals who genuinely support and uplift you. So if you do need validation, seek that from those that's going to be honest with you, right? They're gonna You're gonna really trust them, and you know that they feel you value. So let me tell you something. When you are around people that love, respect, and care for you, they're gonna give you validation, and you don't even have to ask for it. It'll come natural to them because they love and respect you and value your friendship. Okay, so those are the steps of keeping balance with validation. So now we're gonna go into which this is the part I wanted to really focus on. Steps for self validation, because self validation to me is more important than anybody validating me. Anybody validating. Self validation is the practice of recognizing, accepting, and affirming your own thoughts, emotions, and experiences without relying on external approval. Developing these skills can enhance self confidence, emotional resilience, and overall well being. Here are 10 steps I'm going to offer to you to help practice self validation. Because that's what we do over here at the Love Palace, right? Offer steps to develop self validation. Right. Number one is acknowledge your feelings. And you're going to do this by accept that your emotions are real and valid, even if they seem irrational or uncomfortable. Avoid dismissing or suppressing what you feel. Every emotion has a purpose and a message. So you're going to acknowledge your feelings. You're not going to cast them aside. Nope, I don't want to feel that way. Nope, I don't do this. But instead of suppressing them, you're going to go ahead and accept those emotions, right? Excuse me. Because each emotion has a purpose and a message. Your emotions are real and valid, even if they seem out of whack or irrational, like it says here, or nobody feels this way, or let me stop, I'm thinking too much, my emotions. No, your emotions, they're real and valid. Yeah, sometimes we might be a little out there, but they're still your emotion. And remember this point, every emotion has a purpose and a message. All right, let's go on to number two. Number two is identify the source. Remember, we're talking about self validation here. Reflect on why you feel a certain way. Are your emotions triggered by a specific event, thought, or memory? Understanding the root of your feelings can help you process them constructively. So identify the source of your uh, validation, right? I like the questions that it asks. Reflect on why you feel a certain way. Are your emotions triggered by a specific event, thought, or memory? And then once you know that, understand the root of what you're feeling. And this is going to help you process this constructively. All right. Let's go on to number three. Avoid self judgment. Replace self criticism with self compassion. Okay, the Spirit said to repeat this one. Replace self criticism with self compassion. Here's some examples. Instead of saying, I shouldn't feel this way, try, it's okay to feel this, and I will work through it. I love this. Avoid self judgment. You're going to replace self criticism with self compassion. You got to remember that the divine made us to have emotions. and feelings, right? So if we're blocking those feelings, we're not really being true to ourselves. So it's okay to have these feelings. It's okay to be mad, angry, sad. It's okay to be in those feelings, but don't stay in them, right? That's what I always say. Feel those feelings. We're human. We have emotions. That's the one thing humans have is emotions, right? So reflect self-criticism with self-compassion. I like that. I like that a lot. All right. Let's go on to the next one. Excuse me. Use affirming self talk. Encourage yourself the way you would a close friend. Oh, yes. Positive affirmation. And those positive affirmations are like, I am allowed to feel this way, or my emotions matter. I like both of those. Reinforce self acceptance. Use affirming self talk. Talk good about yourself. You feel me? Hey, today I felt great. I woke up and was like, boom, get dressed, girl. Get this. You about to do this daily dose of D. And I'm like, I feel great. My emotions are high in a great spirit. And I said, hey, D, let's go. Let's do this. Speak positive affirmation into you. Speak life, just like you would speak life into someone else that you love and care about. Speak life into yourself. You're allowed to feel this way is I am allowed to feel this way is one of the affirmations for self-talk. And my emotions. So use affirming self-talk. Of course, this is going to be in here. Y'all should already know. We're going to practice mindfulness. We talk about mindfulness all the time, so I won't stay on this too long, but stay present with your emotions rather than avoiding them or numbing them. Mindfulness techniques excuse me, such as deep breathing, meditation, or journaling can help process feelings in a healthier way. Practice mindfulness. We always talk about the things you could do to be mindful. I love this point. Stay present with your emotions rather than avoiding and numbing them. Okay. Let's go on to number 6. Trust your inner voice. And let's go. I love this topic. Trust your inner voice. Rely on your judgment rather than constantly seeking external validation. Make decisions based on your values, needs, and personal growth. Your inner voice is your intuition. Your gut is your intuition. Trust it. It's put there for a reason. If you go by your inner thoughts, that's your own judgment. You're not going to be seeking validation for others because you're going to do what's right for you because you're trusting your inner voice and your gut feeling. That's a divine game. All right. Let's go on to number 7. Set personal standards. So remember, we're talking about self-validation in these steps. Just a reminder. Define success, happiness, and self-worth by your own measures, not by society exception. Focus on your progress, personal development, rather than external comparison. So you're going to set your own personal standards. You're going to define your success, your goals, your happiness, your self-worth, not by what society wants it to be. Because if you do that, you're going to be all over the place. No, I'm just kidding. But you know what you need for yourself. Focus on your own progress and your personal development. And don't compare. So many people compare themselves to others. And that's where the external validation begins to come in because you're comparing, oh, I want to be like this person or I want to do this. Set your own personal goals, develop them. You can absolutely learn from others, but you're going to develop your own personal standards, your own personal development. All right, let's move on. We about to finish up on this Friday. Give yourself permission to grow. Understand that mistakes and setbacks are part of the learning process. Instead of harsh self criticism, view challenges as opportunities for growth. Give yourself permission to grow. D, I give myself permission to grow. I might have went through some challenges and I have this goal I'm trying to reach and I'm having setbacks, but I understand that this is going to happen. And I understand that I am going to make mistakes because no one on this earth does not make mistakes. You feel me? No one does. So instead of being harsh on yourself, calling yourself stupid, saying I never finish things, view challenges and opportunities for growth. Okay? A setback is a get back. Les Brown used to say, if you fall and you fall forward, put your head and look up. Because you can look, if you can look up, you can get up. You feel me? Shout out to Les Brown. All right, let's go into number 9. Engage in self-care. Prioritize activities that make you feel good physically, emotionally, and mentally. Exercise, rest, hobbies, and healthy relationships contribute to a strong sense of self. Engage in self care. It be physically, emotionally, and mentally. Man, that mental part, sometimes we forget that self care. Shout out to Linda Hillen. She had a live about mental self care. We tend to think of self care, which is nice, like me personally, getting my hair done, my nails done, eyelashes, all that, getting some nice clothes, a massage. Emotionally, I do this by meditating, might do some journaling, talking to people. Mentally, how do you take engage in self care mentally? You do affirmations to help you realize that mentally inside self care matters. If you don't take care of the inside, the mental side, your inside, the physical and emotional side is going to lack. So engage in self care even mentally. And mentally, you're going to do this, like I said, if you even might need to seek help if it's for your self care, okay? Be around people that's uplifting and it's going to help you be like, hey, how's your mental health today? How are you doing today? How can I help? Make sure that you are engaging in self care physically, emotionally, mentally. And you know, I always got to add spiritually. You feel me? So let's go for number 10 with the win so we can go ahead and finish up on this Finish Up Friday. And that's seek healthy support without dependence. I just was talking about that. While self validation is essential, having a support system can provide encouragement. Surround yourself with people who respect and uplift you. Don't rely on their approval for self worth, but surround yourself around these people. By practicing these steps, you can develop a strong sense of worth, confidence, leading to more of fulfilling and independent life. So seek healthy support without dependence. You see that part right there? Without dependence. So while self validation is essential, have a support system that can provide encouragement. It's not to validate you or to you for you to depend on them for validation. It is to support you without dependence. So let me say that again. You're going to have your support system to provide encouragement, but you're not going to depend on them for self validation. They're there to help you respect and uplift you. Don't rely on them for your self worth, though, because that's why it's called self. You feel me? All right. I hope you enjoyed those steps of self-validation. I really wanted to spend some time on that today because to me, out of all validation, that's the validation that matters. It's self-validation. So validation is a powerful force that can positively shape self-perception and relationships. However, when external approval becomes a necessity rather than a compliment or self-worth, it can lead to insecurity and emotional distress. By embracing self validation and cultivating a strong sense of inner confidence, individuals can navigate life with authenticity, resilience, and fulfillment. True validation comes not from the outside world, but from within. That's the point I want you guys to. True validation comes not from the outside, y'all, but it comes from within. Self validation. Okay? Remember that. So, I'm going to head and finish this up on this Friday. But once again, on Finish Up Friday, don't forget the word of the day validation. The action of checking or proving the validity or accuracy of something. Slow down, please. Trying to finish up fast on Friday. Take your time. Also on Happy Finish Up Friday, quote of the day, the most important validation is self-validation. That is authorized and approved by Goddess Dia Love. Okay, as always, my show is sponsored by the network More Than Media. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe so that you and anything can happen over there. No, we're working on some great things. So hit that notification button so you don't miss it when we do go live over there, okay? So let me go ahead and give final words from one of my favorite persons, y'all. If you know, you know.
The whole key to even life and being successful is to be self-validated. The validation comes when you validate yourself. You got to have self-validation. You got to be able to look in the mirror and say, I'm going to go kick ass. I'm going to get that job interview. I'm going to take it to the next level. I'm going to take my life and my career and elevate it. I believe in me. When you believe in you and you self-reference you, when you understand deep in your heart and in your soul that you're capable of going to the next level, you don't need no validation from nobody else. I don't walk in no rooms wishing that somebody would say something different. I'm who I am. The whole key to
Yes, yes. Get this down. Self validation is the most important validation. I'm not going to stress that. I am going to stress that more and more because the society, the world that we live in, we seek for validation from other people so often. So often. It's all of you. You had it all this time. The validation you need is within you, okay? So I just want to share that with you guys on this Finish It Up Friday. I hope you guys finish up this Friday and I hope you enjoy this live today about self validation. This was something that I really hold dear to my heart. Okay. So, how I'm going to close this today is remember, you're the only one that you have to prove yourself to. Validate yourself. Know that Goddess indeed loves you, right? For those that are seeking validation outside to this world and not looking inside, I hope this live helps you to understand that the validation was in with you. And Goddess Dia Love loves you as well. Okay? As always, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I'm not doing this for validation, y'all. Excuse me. This is not for validation. You can like, share, and subscribe. It's free 99 to the YouTube channel. Hit that notification button so you do not miss an episode of anything that happens at the Love Palace. I can also be reached on Instagram and TikTok as well. Okay? So, you know how I'm going to close it out like I always do? I'm going to close out with Shamaka Essentials. Please reach out to her for all your spiritual, physical, and emotional needs to help you get validation for yourself. You feel me? Once again, everybody have a lovely weekend. Don't forget, Sunday, come on over to Blended Healings for Poetry and Pulls. We be having a good time. Make sure you hit the notification on Blended Healings channel as well, because you never know when we'll be having a game night and you can win some of those awesome prizes from Shamaka. See, I think I said it wrong the first time. I'm working on it, Blended. Don't be mad. Shamaka Essentials, y'all. I keep saying Shamika. Shamaka Essentials. Okay? So hit the notification button. She might have a game night coming up soon. Wink, wink. And you could, too can win some valuable, nice, lovely products from Shamaka Essentials. Everybody have a nice, peaceful weekend. Have fun. Thank you for coming to the Love Palace. Peace and love to everybody. And I will see you real soon. Okay? Have a great and wonderful weekend. See you real soon.